when you walk on the bus and you're seeing a guy slunch in the corner after a bad game, hit the search bar on Twitter, and they're going through, just you see them fighting those demons for whatever reason, feeding themselves that. Do you ever say anything to a guy like Carson? You gotta just keep it moving,
bro. I would advise when you have a bad game, just delete the app for that week until you have a good. Boy, these dang internet demons, boy, they are relentless, dog, and they'll have you question like, damn, dude, maybe I shouldn't be playing football.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I would be questioning myself. This is in college, just on message boards. And I would question myself so much that I would have to go back and watch my high school highlights just to see if I still had it.
Dude, that is so funny.
Just to see if I still had it. Like, damn, am I?
God, for real?
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
in college for me, like I wasn't savvy enough to know about the message boards. My dad would kind of talk about them because he was always on them.
Right. Same with my old man.
But I never like ventured in. So I lived in a nice little world of just thinking I was the man all the time in Michigan. And even if I had a bad game, I was like, I'm going to play better next week. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You get so angry.
You get to fucking the NFL and it's like, now I feel like it's where you realize like your livelihood is now in question. Like if you don't play well long enough, it will end for you. Yes. And in college, it's like, well, I have next year. I can develop, do this. But when you get to the NFL and you start starting and you don't have a game and you feel like you're on display because it is the NFL, like, dude, it sucked. And what sucked worse than having a bad game and knowing you had a bad game and reading it, because it's like, you're just validating what you already know. Mm-hmm. It's when you go and you have what you believe was a good game. And you go to that search bar and people are like, yo, Lewan got toasted by this guy. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you're legit just mad about it for whatever reason. Like this, and then you want to respond, you fucking with the reply button, you type out some nasty shit, and then you hit the delete, and you're like, I can't let people know I'm searching my own name.
You also you start getting in your head on like, man, I wonder if the coaches feel this way too, because they're not going to sit there. It won't be like, they're not going to write it publicly. They're going to talk to you like, hey, let's go to the next play. But then they're going to be in staff meetings. You all know what goes down in staff meetings.
Right.
All this shit festers in your head. Yeah, bro, man, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game out there.
We had
you'd be so far out there.
I had a coach, assistant offensive line coach for like the whole time I was at the Titans, Mike Sullivan. And anytime I ran into these like insecurities of like, am I fucking not who I think I am? I would just go to him. And he would tell me point blank, hey, this is what you're doing right. This is what they're saying about you. This is what you need to do better. And he would, whether it was good or bad, he was like my little safety net for 9 years, which was awesome to have. I mean, that was good. Do you remember, you were there in 2018, right?
Yeah. 2018 and
2018, I was suspended for a PED for 4 games. The first game I came back, we played the Bills. Mm-hmm. After that game, there's like coaches like have like notes and stuff like that they put on their iPad. For whatever reason, Mike Vrabel's notes got leaked, and that locker room the next day, because they're
reading the O-line notes.
we were 2 and 2, and then we went 2 and 3. So we started 2 and 3. We ended up starting the season 2 and 4 before they benched Marcus. But after that game, I think it was like play 3, and it was a Mike Vrabel note says 77. Why are we paying him this much? I was just like, and you got it. And I didn't even know about it. It was like, I think Ben always was in the know. Dennis knew about it. And so guys were saying like, oh, his notes are going around. And I'm thinking, man, people are probably getting murdered on that. And then I think one of them, Dennis or Ben, showed me that note, and I could have dropped dead right there. The worst feeling in the world, because I'm already suspended. I feel like I've just ruined the team, the season. I remember like talking with the team at camp, being like, I'm suspended. But I came out like the day before camp started, but like addressing the team and all that. And then you go. There's all these like things like Taylor's going to save the season when I come back, which was like a great compliment. But then in my head, I'm like, there's no fucking way a left tackle saving a season because we're 2 and 2. And then to come out, have like 3 penalties, a bunch of bullshit. And then I see that comment.
Bro.
Terrible.
That's got to be one of the worst feelings, man.
It was awful, bro. It was awful.
Bad, man, too.
Fantasy football, like kind of your point. Like I have a good game, like where I helped our team win, but in fantasy football, I didn't do squat for your team. But in actuality, I had 4 catch for, we'll say, 27 yards. But 3 of those catches were first down conversions in the fourth quarter as we're driving. So
yeah.
You know, that's good for us, but people are like, I'm benching you. You suck. Like, you're so washed. And I'm like,
you got the skill players do have to deal with the fantasy football.
It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, you got to deal with us too, because we've started.
Oh, buddy, I'll walk around the sideline and I'd say like, "Hey, Golden, I need 2 more out of you right now. Like, go talk." Hey, go talk to the
Hey,
quarterback.
I'm down 3 points in my fantasy.
Hey,
You need to know about that.
That's 2 screens right there. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's it.
That's all you. That has got to be a crazy fucking thing to deal with.
Bro, it's gnarly, man. And thankfully, like I also think like, okay, most of these people probably weren't watching the Detroit Lions game because it probably wasn't on for one. So they don't really know what they're talking about. They just see numbers. And if you just look at pure numbers, 4 for 28, 27 yards ain't good unless you got a touchdown. Right. That ain't going to cut it. And then they lose by 0.25. I'm feeling like, but see, it's a double-sided sword because when we help your fantasy team, we love reading about it. Like, yeah, we're all interacting with the comments. And then when we screw your fantasy team, you think I care about your fantasy team?
Right.
I don't give a damn about your fantasy team.
Exactly.
So it's like we contradicting each other.
Dude, I remember, like, was it Todd Gurley? He was, I mean, this is always like a strategic thing, but like him stopping, like you're in a 4-minute type of situation and the defense lets you score and he would stop on like the 1 yard line. And fantasy players across the board would be so mad at Todd. And I'm pretty sure Todd had a little tweet that came out. It was like, fuck your fantasy team. It just like sent that into the universe. And it was like, yo, Todd's a fucking gangster for that.
Yeah,
dude.
you are.
I'm so bummed for guys like him because that's a light that shines so bright, but went out so quickly.
Man.
I remember playing him in like 20.
That is funny.
What do you
If I
say?
ever see you in public, we're fist fighting over your fantasy football performance this year, and Todd Gurley pull up there. There was a receiver teammate of mine that was showing me his DMs, and the receiver teammate was essentially threatening this dude's life, saying he will go to his house and kill him.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, talking about
You play with Aaron Hernandez?
Oh,
That's crazy.
boys.
I didn't know you were that old.
No, but that shit is that stuff wild.
Dude, I've had people pop into my DMs, and I've even had them do it on my like timeline, like, hey, I hope your mom gets raped, and I hope you get to watch your sisters get killed. I'm like, golly.
Over a fantasy performance?
Yes. And like, I'm like, dude, you had to come you don't even follow me. You had to come search my name. Then you had to type it all out and make sure grammatically it was probably correct, and you still chose to hit send. You got to have a different type of hate.
You got to be mad for a long time.
Man, you got
Go
some
through all
other
those
issues
stages.
versus this fantasy team, bub. You got some stuff, some demons you need to address at home.
Yeah. People will get that way too because you can make everybody can like have a burner or get behind a profile that's just like not real. You know what I mean, like you don't know who the person is.
You ever thought about creating a little burner profile and just firing back at the little dickheads that come at you?
I think Will's got like 3 or 4. Yeah, Will.
I
there's one out there. We'll call Will Compton's Bulge. Will Compton's Bulge is out there. Man, what other ones? Any pro Will Compton ones you can probably they're easy to find.
I've thought it could be fun. But just to clear the air, I do not have a burner. I'm just letting people know.
I thought about having one on several occasions, and I was probably close to doing it, but then I knew myself. I'm gonna slip up, and I'm gonna send one from my actual account,
right?
Because I feel like that's happened.
Yes,
did it happen to KD?
Yeah, Kevin Durant. Yeah.
So I was like, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
KD.
That is crazy. Yeah, the burner thing. We got a guy that works for us. He's big into the burner game.
Yeah.
Big into the burner game. But he'll go on his burners and have arguments with himself. Like he'll tweet something from his, and then his burner will come in and say something, then he'll say something back. There it is. There's Will Compton right there.
Will Compton's Bulge. That I want to say, is that the one that got created when we were all together? And I was trying to figure out who it was. Because you guys were talking about burners earlier in the day, and I was hell-bent that one of these dudes
You thought it was one of our boys?
Yeah, because they were talking about a burner early in the day, and then later that night we get snacks from a gas station. We're all sitting around chilling, I think watching a movie or something. Then Will Compton's Bulge pops up, and I'm thinking, which one of you motherfuckers created a burner?
Yeah, dog. The internet is an unruly place.